Hi, everyone. This is Pedro Baez from Go for Glory Stable, managing partner and founder of the group. Charlie Longo is also on, the general manager of Go for Glory Stable. And today is September 28th, 2025. And this is the summary video of the past week. As usual, please like or subscribe these videos as it helps the channel. And just as a reminder, Go for Glory Stable, we are a fractional ownership group that we offer a platform for people to invest in racehorses. And hopefully make a little money, hopefully have some fun. And the horses are mainly in the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania. There are horses elsewhere, but mainly in the Northeast. And yeah, it's a way to get in for a small amount without buying an entire racehorse and to experience investing and making money and building your own equine stable of athletes. So it's very different than other investments. And we love it. So with that being said, we got, like I said, Charlie is on this week. Charlie, you want to take it away? I know the group. We haven't seen you in a bit since the uh, we've seen you on site at the tracks and driving, um, but and the trot talk with Rob and Paul. So it's good to get you on here in the weekly update.
Yeah, thrilled to be on finally. I know it's been really difficult doing this on Sunday for you, having to do it all alone, and I've just been kind of all over the place. Since you started doing these excellent YouTube videos, just been very busy with vacations and travel and all kinds of family stuff, and life kind of gets in the way sometimes.
A lot of
But
racing too, a lot of driving too, and you got
yeah.
another win too at Philly.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That was my first win a couple of weeks ago at Harris, Philadelphia, and that was quite a thrill. And I was asked to drive the horse this upcoming weekend, but unfortunately the horse didn't get in. And next Sunday, Philadelphia is closed, so it'll be a while before I get back in the bike there, I guess, to drive that horse and try to get to that winner's circle again. But yeah, last weekend was a lot of fun. A lot of people got a kick out of my adventures down at Shenandoah Downs, which was a really interesting experience. Beautiful track. We had a great time down there. The Southern Tier Amateur Club went up against the United States Harness Drivers Club, and we had a couple of races. And they did tell us after the races were over that they wanted us to compete against each other in inflatable horse costumes, which did not work out very well. I probably should have known better, that it wasn't a good idea to, compete in a 40-yard dash after not having raced or sprinted in, I don't know, I can't tell you the last time I probably had to, sprint in a dash. And what made matters worse was I had my racing boots on, which I don't know what they weigh, maybe 2, 3 pounds each, and that was not a good thing. I didn't stretch or anything, and I think Pedro, you have the video maybe queued up if you want to start it off and give everybody a few laughs before we head into some serious racing matter. So here I am on the outside in the four hole, and I figured, oh, this is going to be easy. I'm going to blow these guys away. I'm probably one of the younger guys in the group, and I play ball regularly, and I'm a pretty good athlete. And boy, was I mistaken here. Bob Chivardini was giving me a run for the money here, so I had to kick it into another gear, and then all of a sudden, I felt a pop in my hamstring, and let me tell you, it was painful, and I went down. And the first thing I was thinking of was, wow, I might not be back in the bike for a couple of weeks, and I'm certainly not playing paddleball or pickleball for another 3 to 4 weeks. And it was quite embarrassing. There was probably about 100 people in the grandstand, and they were like, "Oh my God!" People were laughing, and I had to get helped to back to the paddock in a golf cart. Yeah, it was not one of my finer moments in harness racing, but I'm glad I amused the crowd. Everybody got a kick out of that.
yes, that is pretty funny. It's hilarious, actually. So, so.
That's the last time I do that for sure. So yeah, that kind of kicked off the start of the week for us. Well, not so much for Go for Glory, but for me, and that we followed it up that day with the Go for Glory auction, which we actually hadn't done in some time, and it was good to to get back into it again. It always creates a lot of excitement. I wish we could do it on a more regular basis, but we just have so much going on, and we'll see once the website is to where we need it to be. Maybe we can get back to doing this on a monthly basis. We'll see how that goes. So that's the auction. Um, the following day, we had a few horses that we were going to enter in the preferred equine online sale, and we decided to withdraw Artist Best before the auction. And we gave it a lot of thought, and I think we made the right decision. We've had a lot of fun with Artist Best. The horses provided a lot of thrills. We've had a win. We've had some close calls with him. And I think the bottom line with Artist Best is that here's a racehorse that, gosh, he shows up every week. He gives it his all. I can't say this horse has thrown in a clunker, a poor effort since we've had him. We've been saddled with not the best drives at times, some difficult post positions, but Artist Best, he always tries. He always gives it his all. He's the type of horse that he just likes to kind of sit there and get into the flow for the first 3 quarters, and then once you hit that 3/4 pole, he just likes to kick in. He puts it in another gear, and he'll come home in 27 for you. He gives it his all, and if we can work out the right trip, if we get a decent post and a decent drive, this horse he's going to hit the board for us a lot more often than not. And we thought, for the money, he wasn't an expensive acquisition for us. But we thought, once the Meadowlands reopens, we're going to have a lot of fun with this horse. I'll drive him a little bit in the amateur races. We'll put him into some condition races, and we'll get some people to come out and watch him race. And we're going to get back to the winner's circle with this horse. He's a sound horse for a horse that had a pretty heavy workload last year. I think he had around 40 or 41 starts, and not even a lot of time off between last year and this year. And yeah, I mean, he's been sound, requires very little vet work, and just has a great attitude. And I got to say, he's probably my most favorite horse that I've driven since I started about 5, 6 years ago. And yeah, he's just a pleasure to drive. So the other two horses that we had in the sale, surprisingly, we thought we'd have no problem moving both Drill and Ship's Revenge. And Drill, we pretty much had a reserve on him, and we met the reserve, and we were hoping he'd bring a little bit more, but it's hit or miss sometimes with these auctions. You just never know. And since we were at the end of the auction, I'm always thinking, well, maybe there's a lot of money left over. People didn't get what they were looking for, and maybe they'll spend a little bit more, but sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. Ship's Revenge, very surprised, didn't meet the auction reserve, but that's okay. She's a nice horse. We're not going to give her away, and we'll just look for the right spot for her. I believe she's in Monticello this week, and we'll take it from there. And maybe we can recoup a lot of that money, and eventually she'll get claimed from us, and we'll get out and get into something else. So, so that was the preferred equine auction on Monday. Um, Heading into this week, we're all pretty excited. We got the big Lexington yearling sale coming up, and that will be the entire week, Monday through Friday. Paul Kelly's out there, and he's looking at a bunch, and we're hoping to come out with 2 yearlings. That would be really, really outstanding if we can do that. We've budgeted about 125,000, not just us, but those involved with the yearlings, us and Paul Kelly, obviously, and perhaps one or two of his other external partners. So we're going to get a little bit of a small piece here, nice percentage, and this is the big one. There's I think 900 and maybe 25 yearlings up on the block. So there's going to be some home runs hit down the road, and maybe this will be our time. Maybe we'll get a little bit lucky. Um, you just never know. We have a lot of confidence in Paul. I mean, he's got a great track record, uh, breaking the babies, getting them ready, and getting them to the races. I was very impressed with Paul's operation when I had a chance to go down and visit him this past winter down in Florida, and we really got to know him. And it was a pleasure, meeting Wally Hennessy and jogging horses with them. And yeah, Paul knows what he's doing. He's a veteran of the game and a very cerebral, intelligent guy. And we couldn't have picked a better trainer to partner with. And looking forward to seeing what he comes up with. And yeah, I mean, this is a good opportunity for a lot of you guys that just have never really dipped their toes into the yearling game. To get in on the action because one of these days, we're going to be racing in some significant races, and I got a good feeling it's going to happen, relatively soon. I think we're due, and we have the Massachusetts Sire Stakes coming up, so we're going to be racing for some big money there, and a lot of good opportunity with these yearlings, especially with that mass program, very lucrative, and it just doesn't seem like from when I've been following it the last 4 or 5 years. Not a lot of horses are basically bred and eligible for Massachusetts, and we're seeing a lot of races with very limited fields, 4 or 5 horses racing, for $75,000, and geez, you can't beat that. And there's more money down the road, in terms of the final. So yeah, very, very excited about that. So that's what we have on tap this week, and Pedro, I'll take it right back to you.
Well, I was just gonna say real quick about Lexington is that's also where we got Geologic. We got Geologic at Lexington last year. We got Adios My Lindy there. Skybox we got at Lexington. He's New York bred, but a few years before that. So it's good, excellent, excellent sale. I think Paul is if he's physically he will be tomorrow at Plainridge because he's got like 10,000 horses racing tomorrow and Tuesday. But I think he usually I don't know if you all know Ray Schnicker. Ray Schnicker usually he's a big trainer. He won the Hambo. He's based in New York. They're good friends. So I think Ray usually helps Paul out at Lexington. Actually, Paul will tell Ray which horses he wants, and then Ray will go down and bid on them. So usually how it works. I would imagine it's the same. It's gonna be Ray again, but we'll see. It could be somebody else. But yeah, that's a big sale. Um, I don't know. You heard in the Trot Talk. If you watched the Trot Talk with Paul, he's actually from Massachusetts, born and raised. I think he went to Boston University, and so yeah, maybe it's fate that's he does so well there. Who knows? Because he home field advantage. But that's all right. I'll give it back to you, Charlie. I just wanted to add that with the horses we got from Lexington and um, the races coming up tomorrow and Tuesday.
Yeah, and before we get into the stable, the yearlings, and the overnights, I just wanted to mention um, that I'm going to be placing another order for GFG gear. A lot of our people have reached out to me, and they're looking for shirts, caps, and other items. So I will get that together sometime today, and I'll send out the photos of what we ordered in the past, along with the pricing. And I'll give everybody, I guess, till the end of the week to get their order together, what their needs might be. This will be the last order that we place for the year. And and if there's anything else that you might be interested that we presently don't have, we could certainly source it. The logo looks fantastic on everything we've gotten. Very, very pleased with it. So if you have any other ideas on something we haven't done, let me know and we can definitely get it. And we should have that if I place the order early October, we'll get that drop shipped to you sometime in I don't know, early November. It shouldn't take that long. So if you need any items to give away to friends, family for holiday gifts or whatever, now's the time.
And I guess to kind of close up the summary, I guess the only from a racing front, we didn't really have much racing this week. We had just Aaron on Monday, where she we'll get through that in the racehorse video, and then we had Artist Best Friday at Vernon Downs. So it wasn't much on the racing front, but there was a massive amount of horses entered in to Massachusetts Sire Stakes and stakes racing and things like that. I think we have like 8 horses racing on Monday and Tuesday. It's like all on those 2 days. I don't know if we've had that before, but that's it might even be more than 8. I gotta check. Um, um, I guess besides that, the big news this week was uh, Yonkers Raceway. So I don't know if you all saw Charlie sent out the press release that came out from the Yonkers. That's big news. That's big news. You know, that's basically what they announced was that the Horsemen reached an agreement with MGM where I think they guaranteed live racing at Yonkers or live racing for 3 years. Um, I don't have the press release in front of me. I think it said 2028. And then there's like some contractual things in there that they said that will help to protect racing or the involvement in racing beyond that. So that's big news for everyone who's kind of wondering what was going on with those Yonkers, negotiations. I think it's like Joe Feraldo is the guy who's the main person kind of facing off with the big MGM Casino Corporation. I believe so. Could be wrong. Charlie would know more. But and then so yeah, that's huge. So Yonkers is the biggest, I believe, the biggest purse has the biggest purses in all of harness racing. You wouldn't kind of know it if you go there, just kind of how like it's set up right now but it's the biggest purses. They race 5 days a week, and the best horses are racing there, so that's big time. So that's big time for us that locally that we know we're good for Yonkers for the next 3 years and hopefully beyond.
Yeah, and I'd just like to add, as many of you may or may not know, I am a director for the Standardbred Owners Association of New York, and we did have a meeting yesterday. Not really at liberty to share or disclose what was discussed, but yeah, Pedro, you are correct. Joe Feraldo and Peter Venaglia and Chris Wittstruck did a fabulous job. Negotiating this new 3-year pact with MGM. And things are looking bright future ahead for obviously for the casino. And for those that are racing for the horsemen that are going to be racing at Yonkers through 2028. And once the live action begins, and we're thinking, it could happen as early as 2027 once everything is finalized and approved, then you know, we will see a significant increase in the purse account and in purse money. So that definitely bodes well for us. Having the presence here, in this area, and we certainly would like to expand upon that and have an even greater presence, meaning more overnight racehorses for Yonkers this will be the place to be. This will be the place to race. So we're very, very excited about that. And one other thing I wanted to mention real quick, not that anyone might be interested in going, but I will be at Yonkers on October 8th. We do have the politicians coming down from Albany and locally, and they participate in a legislators pace race, and we'll have 4 races. And this is really a good opportunity, for us to mingle and get the politicians on our side and really let them know how important the game is from an economic standpoint for all horsemen and anyone that works, in the industry or are suppliers to the industry. And the politicians, they really look forward to coming down and putting on the colors and competing against each other and get bragging rights and they race against each other and after that we have a little um, gathering, a buffet dinner right outside the casino entrance, outside the food court. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for us to solidify those ties and have them realize the importance of harness racing in the state. And we need to continue that relationship. And because if we don't have the politicians with us, that would not bode well for us down the road. So we need them on our side, and we need to really talk up all the great benefits that this amazing game has to offer. So anyway, I'll be there at 4 o'clock on October 8th if anyone wants to come down. And then obviously there'll be some live racing action right after that. So it'll be a good time to get together with a few of you, especially if we happen to have a horse in early in the card on that particular date. And I'll be sure to send pictures out. I'll grab a whole bunch of pictures and send them out to the group and certainly post them on social media. I think it's important for the industry to see what we're doing to keep this game going
Yeah, that's great, Charlie. Um, we need it. We need more of that. Um,
100%.
and last but not least, I just want to relate it to this, just to give a background to anyone who's kind of not familiar with what's been going on with Yonkers. Is they're owned by MGM Casino. They, the big, large casino operator in the world, one of the largest. And right now they only have like video lottery terminals. It's like a form. It's like just they basically everything there is electronic. If you play craps, roulette, everything is all electronic because everything is electronic over there. And so they along with Resorts World in Queens. I think there's Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets in Long Island, is trying to do something.
Hmm.
They've been basically all these casinos and operators were New York basically opened up downstate region, meaning Yonkers, Queens, and even there were some proposals for like in Manhattan and things like that for like a full casino. Historically, there haven't been a full casino, meaning live tables, people actually giving you cards, real craps pits, all that stuff, roulette, real that has a hotel with it. Well, hotel's different, but live casino stuff and live table games wasn't permitted. So now it is permitted, and I think Yonkers won the bid. I think Queens won a bid. I'm not sure who won the other one. Maybe it was Long Island or it's Steve Cohen. I'm not sure, but at least we know Yonkers won. So that's kind of what's going on. So you're going to see a lot of big changes with Yonkers Empire City the next coming years. And I'm going to hope that the reason why I'm bringing that up is I'm going to hope that Meadowlands might get something down the line soon too. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Now there's more reason than ever that Meadowlands should get something to compete with New York, so you don't have everyone in New Jersey coming over the bridge to spend their money and tax revenue in New York, and they keep it in New Jersey. So let's see what happens. It's an exciting time to be racing in this area, in the Northeast, and that's why we're here. It's a lot of racing, a lot of tracks, Poconos all over the place, Plain Ridge, upstate New York like Tioga and Saratoga, stuff like that. Vernon, place to be. So, with that being said, Charlie, is there anything else you want to add to wrap up the summary video or?
Um, I just want to mention, so we have a lot of action early in this week, as Pedro had mentioned, and I will be at Yonkers tomorrow and Tuesday night. So if anyone plans on attending, let me know. We also are considering claiming the next day or two, so that there might be a lot happening this week with the potential claims if we decide to go forward with them. We are also looking at a horse listed at ongate.com, and we have the yearling sales. So could be shaping up to be an interesting week. Who knows? We may wind up with another two, three, or four horses by the end of the week, which is very exciting.
And there's even more horses we're looking at too. So we're also we're also looking at some maiden trotters, 3-year-olds, non-winners one, non-winners two types of this. So everyone, don't be surprised. We've been telling you that there's a lot going on behind the scenes that Charlie and I are kind of like inundated with right now with everything going on, but it'll happen quick. So don't be shocked if all of a sudden you see three, four, five horses pop in out of nowhere, and you're like, "Wow, where did this come from?" That's what's going on. This is normal for this time of year.
Exactly.
So, all right. With that being said, have a good week. I'm Charlie. Unless you have anything else, I'll say have a good week, and we'll good luck with your horses and the horse sales and everything like that.
Yeah, that's it on my end. And thanks everybody for listening in. And we'll talk soon.
Thank you.